So Synlait has recently become accredited under the B Corp status, and it's a way of globally being able to showcase how they care as an organisation about both people and planet. So joining us as the Director of Sustainability and Brand for Synlait is Hamish Reid. Good evening, Hamish. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
So for those of you who are not familiar with B Corp, I mean, there's so many accreditations out there for brands. How significant is this global accreditation?
Well, this one's quite different really by nature in that it's a real movement, a grassroots movement that started 10 or 12 years ago now in America. And it's all about businesses that believe their business and business in general can be a force for good in the world. So it's quite different to pretty much any other sort of certification model that you see out there. And the most crazy thing about it, in our experience, was that when we put ourselves forward as seeking certification, they didn't want us. The starting point for B Corp is you guys aren't good enough to join our movement. So you have to fight for it. So it's really different to anything else out there. But it is absolutely the benchmark for transparency and accountability when it comes to sustainability performance.
Give us an idea of the loopholes that you've had to jump through. Well, not loopholes, but you know what I mean in terms of...
I know what you mean. It's been intense. We've been at it for 2 years. And we had a pretty rapid progression through it, actually. It's taken other companies 5 years to get certified. So we thought it was going really slow, but B Corp told us that we actually did navigate the process pretty quickly. So we just had an exhaustive process to go through. Every tiny corner of our business was interrogated. From memory, there were about 200 modules of work that we had to go through, and a lot of questioning in each of those modules had to be carried out, and we had to submit all sorts of evidence and performance to show that we were worthy to secure the points associated with those specific questions. And when you get enough points, you cross the line and you become certified.
What are some of those things to verify yourself from a social and environmental performance perspective? And what can New Zealand brands following in your footsteps learn from your experience?
Yeah, there's 5 main areas, and it's things that are covered off in the certification process. And it's things like how your business is governed, how you look after workers, how you engage with your community, how you protect and enhance your environment, these sorts of areas. So we learned a huge amount about our business, actually, as we went through this process. There were some real eye-opening elements to it. So, examples of looking after your workers was we had to do a whole lot of analysis on our gender pay gap and our diversity and inclusion policies. And while we didn't make material changes to a lot of the things that we were doing, it really identified for us where we were doing well and where we could do better. So I would really recommend businesses from all corners of society have a go at B Corp certification, just for the pure purpose of understanding your business better and benchmarking yourself against how the very best businesses in the world perform when it comes to sustainability, when it comes to looking after planet and people.
And what was that flow-on effect down through the farm gate, and in particular the scrutiny over the Lead with Pride program?
And what we're up to on that front. They took a deep dive into our farm system and how we work with our suppliers and how they look after their staff and how they look after their animals. All these sorts of points were taken into consideration. And we've had a huge amount of support from our supplier base, a huge amount of interest in what we're doing here. And we think there's potentially a really nice angle for farms to follow the certification process also. So we're talking to B Lab, which is the not-for-profit organisation that runs the certification system, about how we might be able to create a pathway for farmer suppliers who might be interested in going down the B Corp pathway.
And Can I ask you what Synlait do in doing milk differently? How is that different from the likes of Fonterra's carbon neutral milk that we've heard of in recent weeks? This depth of transparency, there's so many labels.
Yeah, there is. I would say that B Corp is the broad framework for sustainability performance. It covers those 5 areas that I mentioned before, not just about environment, not just about people within your organisation, but people within the community and how your organisation is governed. It's a really broad measuring stick over the way in which your business operates. It can be used for commercial benefit. So, for example, we could put the B Corp logo on our products if we chose to, but it's more about having an assessment of how we're performing as a business overall when it comes to people and planet, rather than a focused commercial claim label.
So you're essentially doing it for the ethos of the company overall, from a hiring perspective, supplier perspective, the whole lot. It's not just about a nice label, another one to add on the front of your products.
Yeah, exactly. And we're doing it because we do deeply care about the land upon which we stand, and we do deeply care about the people that we employ and the people that we engage with in our communities. And we think if we do that well, we will profit from purpose, because our customers and their consumers in those markets abroad where we export to, more and more want to hear stories about how we're looking after people and planet. So while we're really focused on doing the right thing, we know that we're banking an opportunity for the future where our customers will really value what we're doing, and they will buy more from us, and they will pay more for it as a result.
Thank you so much, Hamish Reid. He is the Director of Sustainability and Brand at Synlait.
This is Sarah's Country.